Module 1, Critical Analysis. Video, Words Matter. In this video, we talk about framing. We've described discourse as boundaries of truth that shape what we're allowed to think. Now let's attach specific words to those boundaries. If discourse defines the boundaries of our thinking, frames fill that space. Frames include the choice of words, photographs, and even the sources journalists include in their reporting. To illustrate how words matter, let's examine two photos from major news agencies. Here is a picture of two white people. Below the photo is a caption. Two New Orleans residents wade in deep water after finding bread and water from the local grocery store. Here is another picture in which you see a person of darker skin color. The caption next to the photo is, "A young man walks through chest-deep flood water after looting a grocery store in New Orleans." Do you notice the difference? It's the same event, but the message between the lines is, the white person found groceries. The black person stole them. Words truly matter. Language, metaphors, comparisons, synonyms, adjectives, all influence how information affects readers, listeners, or viewers. Let's try more examples. What difference do you perceive between these phrases? Unadaptable settler versus Roma from excluded community. Illegal migrant versus person without residence permit. By the way, the term illegal migrant is quite inappropriate. No such thing exists. It's like calling a driver without a license an illegal driver. They're simply a driver without permission. Nothing illegal about them as a person. Now let's examine how the same media outlet can frame similar topics differently. How journalists frame the main message that shapes the entire report. Two Newsweek covers from the 1980s demonstrate this. The first describes Soviets shooting down a civilian aircraft. Journalists presented it as a cold-blooded action, murder in the air. The second also reports a civilian aircraft being shot down, but by Americans. The same magazine framed this as a tragedy, asking why it happened, how such a misfortune occurred. Both events happened during the Cold War under similarly unclear circumstances. Americans automatically portrayed themselves as good and Soviets as evil. The socialist bloc did the same, just with Soviets as the good ones. As you've noticed, journalists frame topics not just through word choice, but also through selection of photos, graphic design, and overall context. All this sets the tone for the entire journalistic output. This tone then determines which experts the journalists choose to interview, what questions they ask, which statistics they use, how they interpret data, even what information they ignore.